Yeah.
Okay, well, that was good. Colin, did you want to talk about the process that we take in Headland during this consulting process? What's involved, and maybe just a little overview of what steps we take with working together with our customers?
Yeah, sure. So regarding the process that we actually take, first of all, we would actually have a detailed discussion with their customers and actually find what sort of path and what sort of journey they actually want to take in towards becoming a smart factory as such. From those detailed discussions, we would then actually analyse to determine what would actually be the best consultancy for them, and which we actually have a few different ranges available. We actually have kind of our first type of consultant is usually between a 1 and a 3 day consult, which can actually be done remotely, where we actually analyse your indirect processes, and then from there we'll actually produce a swim lane analysis, which is actually one of the tools that we use to map out that process, and that actually helps us to actually identify some of the key areas that you could possibly actually look to improve, not only in actually helping reduce the lead time as such and reduce that indirect processing time, but we'll obviously look to actually produce quite a list of recommendations. And from there, we will actually, from the development of the recommendations of action, give you a plan of how to actually implement those. And we could then actually move on to a typical 3 to 5 day consulting, which follows the same type of process, but we also actually go through and create not only analyse the indirect processes, but we actually analyse your direct processes as well. But this will actually be mainly done on site, so we can actually get a good overview of the full production process, and then from there we can actually give a full concept of the material and information flow within your company. Again, looking to identify some of the areas of improvement. We can also actually provide a plan on a best scenario layout to actually help improve that material flow within your organisation. And then from there, again, we'll actually look to create an implementation plan and actually help you through that process.
So part of the recommendations, would that involve, it could involve new software or machine positions, things like that? Yes,
so it's actually looking at various different factors. So we can actually look at within the indirect processes what softwares would actually look to help improve your process. And when we're actually analysing all your processes, we're actually looking for all the media breaks. So we're actually looking for all those changes from moving from different softwares, and also actually looking at the manual input of that data, and seeing how we could actually benefit by actually using the software side of things. When it comes to the more production related areas, we actually look to analyse with the material flow. We actually look to analyse the full process that you actually take within that material flow, and actually look to optimise that as much as possible. And we do that by actually using what we call a spaghetti analysis. So we actually have a full drawing layout of your shop floor, and we actually follow a number of different components actually around your shop to actually analyse the flow that the part actually takes. And then we actually look to, from that analysis, that actually allows us to generate a layout that will actually help to reduce the amount of movement of the material and parts as much as possible.
And with your list of recommendations, do you provide like an estimate of benefits, like whether that's percentage of productivity gains or things like that? Can you estimate that for clients so they know what, if they do these recommendations, this is the like output they can expect?
Yes. So I actually have all those recommendations, and as that quite a lot of it is actually based on a data analysis. So not only will we actually come in and analyse your process, and through viewing what processes are actually being done throughout the day, and we also actually look at the data that you actually have, and compare that to be able to actually give you a more accurate determination of, you know, what will it actually take to implement the recommendations we've done, payback period, and the timeline involved as well.
And have you done any of these analysis projects, I guess, recently, and what sort of results?
Yeah, sure. So I've just recently, I actually went to one of our customers here in New Zealand, and predominantly actually just looked at the programming process as such. So from the order being received to the programming team, and from there, with the full analysis that we actually done during that time, I actually process mapped all the operations and all the tasks that was actually required by the programmer in order to actually generate the program required to be produced on the machine. And having actually looked at that full process and determining it by looking at the new software available with TruTops Boost and many of the benefits that actually brings, just actually mapping out what the process would look like by actually utilising that software and looking at the times involved, that customer would actually reduce daily programming time by roughly about 4 hours per day.
Oh, wow, okay. That's good to know. Did Michael or Ming, did you want to add anything else in terms of the process side of things and what the steps we take? Colin's done a pretty good job.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the main thing is just to talk about the integration so that you're not double handling. Like Colin said with this case here, when you have a list of paperwork that you're working to and you have to shuffle it around, make all the materials the same, then you have to find the files, you have to enter the quantity of how many you have to make. There's human error involved if you slip up and do a typo on the quantity. If you pick the wrong file. So all of that can be streamlined way back at the start when the jobs are being put into their system. So the time savings are huge.
And often, like, manufacturers are so busy and the operators are so busy, they just get in, do the job. But whereas if you have an expert that can come in from an external, like that has the experience and can actually view the processes holistically, like that's a massive benefit.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone is always under the pump. Everyone's running to get the jobs out on time. Our customers' lead times are just getting tighter and tighter. And the only way to improve this is to, step back and take a look at how you're doing things.